Well, I will be moving back and forth probably, but anyways. So today, what I'm here to speak about is really about a dream that became a reality. And it's very near and dear to me because also Agi and Ajay were part of this dream and then the reality as well. So my invitation to do today is not just to listen to my story, which I will be sharing, but also to dream. And at the end of the session, or towards the end of the session, I hope that you will be feeling a bit closer to that dream and that that dream is possible. So that is my invitation to you today. And that's why it says here, sorry, I'm even covering it. Today it's all about the power of speaking your dream out loud. So this is the topic of the day. I think I will have to stay on this side, but okay, so a bit about me. I already introduced myself, but just to highlight, I am a life and empowerment coach for women. I recently became also a Women's Circle host and retreat host. This all happened in July and August. So basically things are moving quite fast because I dared to dream, and therefore this is why I really wanted to share the story. I basically have this deep desire to connect more women and to inspire women and to allow them to dream, because I shifted from a very, let's call it masculine form of education where I did engineering, etc. So I was like work, corporate, that's the dream. And then I was not feeling satisfied. Doesn't mean that shifting to entrepreneurship is your way or life coaching is your way. Doesn't mean that. You can also be satisfied in any type of job. But the idea behind what I'm trying to inspire is that you can be happy with yourself first in any situation where you are. You can still be inspired by your work, and if you're not, it's okay, you can shift. So to allow yourself to think outside the box, that sometimes we've all been placed, women and men, it's not just for women, but sometimes you sit in a box because you think that's the only place you can be, and I want to invite you to remove the ceiling and the walls and see around you, what else can I do? So that is really what I want to encourage you to do today. And a bit about me, what else I can tell you. I also have a dog, which is pretty much focused of my life at the moment with my partner. Here I actually have pictures of myself in Colombia because I wanted to bring my roots. I recently got that advice from a dear friend that I should incorporate my roots in whatever type of presentation I do, because that gives me some unique view of the world. So I come from a country that there's no seasons. I come from the mountains in Bogota. We're 2,600 meters high, which means I am actually from cold weather. Even though everyone might think I'm used to the heat, I'm not. I am used to the spring and autumn weather. So this is more like where I come from. It's like 3 hours drive, but it's a green area, mountains, etc. But I also, of course, go to the Caribbean, which is a beautiful area. If you ever go to Colombia and need tips, you can ask me. And that's my mom. I also wanted to make her a part of this because she gave me the possibility to dream. She was always encouraging me to do that, and she still does today. So I wanted to bring her in the presentation. So as I mentioned, there was this dream I had, which became a reality. The dream was actually creating a retreat, but to explain where that dream started, I have to go a few steps back. And that started exactly a year ago, where I was having these multiple conversations with friends of mine, some in Brno, some in other cities in Europe. And the idea was, I realized we were all speaking about the same thing, but they didn't know each other. And I was having the same conversations over and over about like self-development, self-growth, what to do with my career, should I become an entrepreneur or not, etc. So I thought like, well, we could all learn from each other, why not connect them? So I invited them to connect, and they all accepted, which I was very grateful, because at the moment it sounded like a crazy idea. So we started having these bi-weekly meetings on Zoom. We were all used to, still, like I think everyone is used to Zoom calls at this point. So we started having these bi-weekly calls. One is based in Bulgaria, the other London, a few here. Ajay is one of them. So it was quite a beautiful realization that I was like, okay, I can connect women. And they say yes very easily, like, okay, why not? So we started doing these meetings. And at some point I thought, actually, I need to see them in person. Like, I haven't literally met a few of them in person yet because we met online through courses, etc. And we became really close friends. Like, we share really personal stories in these calls, and I hadn't met them yet. So I said, like, girls, we should meet. It's like a bit weird that we are such close friends and we've never met. I would love to host the weekend together. They said yes, but it was like a dream. Like, one day we will meet because we're all in different countries, we have lives, kids, etc. There's like all sorts of things. And eventually, like, months kept going and kept going. And in March, I was like, oh, if this is going to happen this summer, because we had said in the summer, I have to set a date. We need a date so I can plan it. So I set the date. We voted on it. And once we set the date, actually, something bigger shifted in me. So I realized, wait, this is not enough. I love these girls. There will be maybe 3 or 4 that attend, but it has to be bigger. Like, this is too powerful to keep it just to ourselves. And since I was the organizer anyways, I was like, well, would you be okay if I invite other ladies to this event? And they all said yes, so great. Once they said yes, I was like, okay, now I have to think of what will happen. Will I do an actual big retreat? How will I advertise it? Like, so many things to think about, like, where do they stay? Where do they sleep? What do they eat? Etc., right? So all the logistics, and that's where my engineering background was fantastic. So I know how to organize logistics of event planning. And we also, in the meantime, we hosted this mini Brno local event with Ajay and another friend who's part of this Shakti mastermind. And when we hosted this event, this is actually in Babi Forest. It's very close to where I live in Rečkovice. And it was so powerful because we spent, I think, 3 or 4 hours together just in the forest. We had like a nice picnic, a nice meditation session. We were just there, present in the moment. And it was, after that week, actually, I just had like a billion ideas. So I realized, okay, if I host this for 3 or 4 days, it will be like a rocket launch, basically. Like, there's no way that we cannot succeed after this. So exactly after this weekend, I literally sat down on the computer and started organizing everything. So I set the flyers and I started to speak to women. So I will show you now what started to happen. So the dream was really, I will host this women's retreat, right? So this is what I was imagining. I was always a little girl that attended summer camp, so I loved the summer camp vibe where you go for a weekend or a week or 2 weeks, and you just are there with friends, new or old, but you're just there. And I was missing that. So I wanted to host a summer camp for women, adults, and that was my real dream. So once I started sharing this story with my friends from coaching classes, from online networking events that I attended, they started saying, yes, I would love to. And I was like, sorry, I don't even have a price. I don't know. I just know the date and where it will be, like Czech Republic. And they were like, doesn't matter. As soon as you have details, send them to me. I was like, okay, I am literally selling air to people. I've tried to sell actual concrete things and I have issues. But here I'm selling air and everyone is saying, yes, yes, yes. Or, oh, I can't make it that weekend, but sign me up for the next one. And I was like, a next one? Okay, I haven't done the first one yet ever, but okay. So I started to get this immediate feedback, even if someone said, oh, that's maybe not for me, but I'm rooting you on. I was like, thank you. Like, I appreciate that because it doesn't have to be for everyone, of course. So this moment of sharing the dream, it was very powerful. And once the dream became the reality, oh, they're all playing at the same time, sorry. Focus on one by one. But the reality was far beyond any expectations I could have because it was a very beautiful location. We were in Vapenice. It's in South Moravia, very close to Slovakia, actually, close to Trenčín, if you know where Trenčín is. But anyways, the location was beautiful. It was very powerful. I will show you that. And we were 10 women, or 11 women in total. So 10 women said yes to my idea, which at the beginning in my mind was a crazy idea. And 10 women said yes. I think 6 of them flew in or traveled by bus, or they were basically traveling from outside of Czech Republic to come here to my event that I organized. Out of the blue, I gave them basically 3 months to say yes, or not even to. Aggie, I think, joined a week before, and I was like, yes, amazing that she can be so flexible. So I think that the power behind it was that they were all ready to connect, like we are here. So the power of wanting to connect to others is magic, because here we are producing a different type of magic. This was a bit more woo-woo maybe, and like lots of other things, but here we're doing magic as well. We're connecting with new people, we're making connections that, who knows, maybe you don't think much will come out, but in a month, 6 months, so many things can change because you met the right person at the right time, in the right event. So all these connections are really magical. So from my experience, what I really want to share is the big lesson. And I hope that you all take it in, that it all happened maybe because I have an ability to connect people, but it all happened because I spoke it out loud. If I had kept this crazy dream to just my little group on Zoom and said, one day we will get together, well, yes, we would have probably one day gotten together, but that would have been it. But when I shared it with a few other people outside of that little container, they started to give me all this positive feedback and saying like, yes, when can I go? When can I sign up? When is the next one? I was shocked. I was really not prepared to get that feedback, because I had this pessimistic view of maybe a few will say yes, or maybe it will be interesting, but maybe it's just me that wants this space. But I realized so many people were craving that space and craving it like in their hearts, because they said yes without having any more information. So my invitation to you today, really, okay, it's supposed to pop up afterwards, but never mind. My invitation to you today is to take now 30 seconds and think, what is that dream that you have inside and you've been carrying for a while, but just in silence, that maybe you've shared with 1 or 2 people, your partner, or maybe your best friend, but it doesn't leave that container. I'm pretty sure if you think deep, there's something that personal life, it can be, I don't know, you want to go on some adventure, it can be career-wise, it can be anything. It doesn't have to be something like in this container we're mainly focused on professional world, but think about anything, it's a dream. So you can really decide you can go to the moon, you can manage it. So think of this dream, what is it? And I will invite you to add a few more questions. So what is this dream that you haven't voiced yet? Really think, if you spoke this dream out loud today, what would it mean for you? But most importantly, what would it mean for those around you? Because one thing that I really learned throughout this process was that my motivation behind hosting a retreat for women was not just because I wanted to make my inner child happy and have a little summer camp, or I wanted to have a big business doing retreats. It was really about building a community, connecting women, empowering women. So in the end, it was really for them and for what they did after the retreat, because already in the last month, this happened, I forgot to say, it happened in July 10th. So basically, it's been pretty much a month. In the last month, all the stories from all the girls that attended this event are crazy. They're already spreading out with ripples. So the ripple effect has been magnificent, which means whatever dream you have, even if it's you going on an adventure to climb the Himalayas, who knows? You will come back so empowered because you accomplished the big dream that everyone around you will be empowered to do something else and do something outside of their usual box. So really think, I'll give you really a moment now. Actually, I will see if I can do a timer.
So now you have opened the connection to the universe.
Exactly. So now you're available. So really think who benefits if you bring your dream to life, and just take 30 seconds maybe to think of it. Once you have it, I will invite you all to pair up. So I think we're even, that's why Agi had to sit there. So you will speak by pairs. The idea is that the first 2 minutes, one person speaks, the other listens. Whoever is speaking shares their dream openly, and the person that listens has the most important job. You're meant to listen and to give the gift of presence, which means you're just there to support by listening, openly listening. No comments, no, how do you say it? Consejos, advice, no advice. So no comments, no advice, no nothing. You just listen, look at the person, ideally eye-to-eye contact, like really be there for them, because they're most likely sharing this dream for the first time ever. So you are having the privilege to hear this dream for the first time ever as it's born out in the world. So I invite you to think of it, and then once you're ready, like, look at me, so you can start with the first person. So I would say, Aja, your listener first, Breta, your listener, Liz, your listener, then Stenka, listener, Sophie, your listener, Katarina, listener, and Peter, your listener. The second round, you will switch, but that is the idea. So if you're ready, is everyone ready with the dreams? Yes?
Sure.
So, okay, we can start, yeah. Go for it.
Alright, so aside from the stuff that I mentioned, I like specifically I like designing games that connect people, and that's why I asked you, does it come in blue? Because the colors have blue. Going forward, I don't know if but I dreaming about designing a game that will help somehow, because when I played this game, I hosted an event yesterday, playing the game, and it was
Remember, the listeners are listening.
we have 2 minutes.
Yeah.
So we can
You will just speak for 2 minutes.
in that room with 15 meetings. Usually that's what we want ability to reserve that's possibly people taking enough time to myself. But I want to make it easy for people to hold it out. And I think by gamifying adding some structure,
So in a way, having a connection with the group, sit down.
because we're losing having say connecting nope, we've got it. And I want to break that chain. Or we can use AI to make the world a better place. But let's remember the humanity. Let's remember the having friends, having conversations. That's what I don't think.
Men specific. To me at least.
And if there is a dream,
You have 30 seconds left.
That would be a real being able to connect our eyes together. So somehow get them out of their routine live and also having which is perhaps maybe even implement them. I don't know. But yeah.
Time's up, everyone. Time's up. Time's up. Okay, so now, I'm sorry, I'm gonna interrupt you, but like otherwise we can't continue. So it's fair, everyone will get 2 minutes. So now please switch your roles. Now you are the dreamer and you're the listener, etc. Yeah, I am. I was missing a bell. You can go now.
that's very nice.
Like doing for example, last week I with 3 months of preparation. I want to run marathon, and I like these big visions. And my dream is that I inspire people, bring something good to them, because I don't know, bring something. I want them to see that it's possible that they can think big, they can achieve things, they can be more happy. I think it's quite similar to your dream. It's helping
Last 20 seconds.
Is there like a specific because you were telling about
Yes,
I don't think
I love sports.
right? Is there a specific
Maybe this kind of
do you see yourself like in a
activities.
special situation
I
like
don't know.
classes
Maybe some business with sports.
doing like like building
Okay, if I can have back your attention.
So you want to create a place.
We're done. Okay, so if I can have all of your attentions back. How did this feel to be open and share your dream out loud with a stranger? Because I think most of you are speaking with strangers. How did that feel to voice your maybe wildest dreams? I don't know what you shared, but if anyone is willing to share this experience of how they actually felt about speaking it and making it real, you can raise your hand, sure.
Well, personally, I must say that it is for me much easier to talk with strangers than to my to my close ones. We don't know each other, so for me it is apparent that there is no, like prejudice, judgment before that. No history of failed attempts and stuff like that. So it was. I wasn't ready for that, so it wasn't that easy, but it was easier, nonetheless.
Thank you, Greta. Yeah, that's true. When there's no judgment, and that's why I really wanted to invite the listener to just be a listener and not say anything, because if you say the wrong word that person has associated to some previous judgment, it might already mess with their head. So that was the most important part of being the listener, really, like be there with no judgment. And thank you for all of you for actually playing this game with me, because I know you had no idea what was coming. So I'm very happy that you were able to join in and think of a dream. Does anyone else want to share? Show up with their hands. Go, Arthur. You were wanting to speak from the beginning. I saw your...
Because he's really amazing. Yes.
No. What is very interesting is, at least to me, it started with an idea and it's moving forward a little bit in the back of my brain. But the more I try to phrase it, the clearer it also becomes. And then just here in 2 minutes, I think back 6 months ago, it would have taken me 10 minutes maybe to just trying to put the correct words together.
Yes.
So I think it's also interesting to express it, because you need to practice it, you need to make it clear, and then of course from the dream onwards there needs to be some steps taken, but interesting. Thank you.
You're welcome. And I think I forgot to mention that during my presentation, but as I was sharing my dream to all these women when I had nothing set, it was exactly that. Every time I spoke to a new woman, I already had the practice from the previous time, so let's say my pitch was getting better and my idea was forming in my head better, because at that point I had a pitch, but I had no concrete things. But as I said it more often, it started to take a form, and it's exactly that. So it takes a few months to get it clear, but the more you speak it out loud, so I invite you, this comes with a second challenge actually. Like now you shared it with whomever was next to you, but I invite you to challenge yourself and share that dream again at dinner. You still have more time, so find another stranger in the room or someone you've met before, it doesn't matter. But I challenge you to go for it. Share it to one other person or two or three, like there's so many of us here. I would be happy to hear your dreams as well. So I would love for you to take that challenge of speaking it out and really breathing life into your dreams, because the more you speak it, the more it really becomes the truth. So your dream really lives in you. And if you said you've had it for 6 months, and it's like you have it at the back of your mind, it's with you all the time. So it's literally living inside of you. But what if you can just let your voice bring it out to the world and really share it widely? It will take shape so much faster, because you get the input, you get the support, or you find the thing that was missing. So I really encourage all of you to do that. If someone else, I think we have a few minutes, I don't know. If someone else wants to share something else, maybe Victoria, you wanted to go for it.
Well, what I wanted to share is that this is an incredible feeling to start a connection with a stranger from such a high level of intimacy and sincerity. Normally it works only in the train when you're traveling with something with some stranger and you will never see them again. Definitely in this case you're opening up and speaking, but in this case you know that maybe you will communicate together in the future, but we started from such a level of openness, and maybe it will provide some more opportunities because we are showing our natural side inside. And so thank you
That's
for
so
this
beautiful.
opportunity.
Thank you for sharing that experience, because you're absolutely right. It's very intimate to share dreams. We're not used to that. So that's why it's a challenge, even though it should be almost a natural thing, right? To share this beautiful side of whatever we have in our minds, especially if it has a benefit for others, like I asked you to think about, like what would it do for others? So that's really the biggest invitation, and I want to share my dream with you because I want to make it public to so many people. My dream was to host the first retreat, and initially that was like, I will host a retreat, right? So it happened, so check mark. But I started to get messages from so many people once the girls that participated shared reels on Instagram, and so many people started being interested in it. I was like, okay, there's still so much interest, so it should happen again, but it was like in my mind, in a year, again in summer. And then I checked the same cabin where we hosted the retreat. Everything is booked for the summer, but there was like one slot in October, so now it will happen the 17th to the 19th of October. So if you, as women here, if you're interested in joining, you can connect with me with either one. This one is actually for the Brno Circle, Brno Women's Circle, where I'm also hosting women's circles. That's kind of redundant, but yes, I'm hosting women's circles. The first one was 2 weeks ago, and I will host another one in September. These are free. It's just to build community, to connect, to share, inspire, etc. But yeah, you can also just email me or tell me here, and I'll write your email down. It's okay, like we can make it easy. But if you have women in your mind, in your life, everywhere, that you think would be interested in joining the retreat as well, then I would love for you to invite them, because, well, Agi and Ajay were part of this, and it's not because of me. The retreat was not special because I was there as the host. It's because of the women that were there, and it was really co-created. I didn't really go into the details of the type of retreat because I know there was going to be a mixed crowd, and it wasn't so relevant. The power was of the people there. It's like here, you have a container, and if everyone is willing to put in the right energy in that container, like anything can happen. So that's my invitation to you. So we can connect with this, or with, actually, I will advertise Breta because he was so kind. This is what Breta does. It's amazing. So if you have, is it for any type of phone? I don't know, actually.
Yeah, Android.
So Android or iPhone, you can tap here, and it will take you to my website, which is amazing. I'm advertising him because it was such a thoughtful gift. So thank you again, and thank you for your attention. I don't